C1music.fm. Let's talk about it. It is your host for the evening, Aaron Robinson and Jennifer Evans. What's going on, Jen?
Hey,
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we got our panelists in the building with us today. We got Jenny, we got Keita, my man Eddie, and we got Nene. We got two more people that's supposed to be joining us tonight. See if they hop on. But we about to get it started. So last week, to recap, we talked about women being in their prime, and we called it prime time. Last week episode was prime time. This week is prime time again, part two, and we're gonna deal with men in this particular category. But we recapping, so we went about prime time for the women, and I asked, it's crazy, right? I asked my wife, and I also asked two other women over the weekend about when they think that when were they in their prime, and this, that, and the third. And I'm afraid to say they were also the Lulu. So I came to the conclusion that I realized that they're women who are I think they're prioritizing their career, and when they make at the time where they start making the most money as when they're in their prime. Because some of the women that were saying what they were saying, I was like, yo, how it's no way that you in your prime at this age, like at the ages that they were saying. They was going up in age. And I'm like, yo, it's no way. And it's just no way. But then and they was conflicting themselves, contradicting themselves as well when I started poking holes into the delusion. But needless to say, they were saying late 30s all the way up to like mid 40s. And I was just like, yo. So I think that women are saying that they're in their prime at those ages because of the simple fact that they are reaching their peak, are starting to reach their peak in finances. Now, do any of y'all disagree with that? Because there's no way I could see somebody saying that they
Oh my
43 and in their
God.
prime
He
at that
talking about
age
himself. Eddie talking about himself.
for a woman.
I think that you have to define it. Like when you define what is a woman's prime. Because I'm
Men
gonna
is not being
say,
in their prime
like
that
you,
long.
I spoke with my spouse and we discussed it. And when he was talking about, he said like 21, he said maybe 21 through I don't know, like 26 or something like that
For
would
females
be
being in their prime?
but pretty much the same for men. Men were a little bit older, maybe like by 2 years, maybe 23 to something. But he was saying because men, women mature faster, earlier. And so men lag behind. So they, for maturity, as far as maturity, they need more time. But when we were discussing it, and he was saying, you childbearing age, able to, hang out with your kids, grow with your children and all that stuff. Then I was like, you know what? Because he was surprised that what the age I chose. And he was like, you like to, you got married young. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So I'm gonna have to come back and tap dance it on back a couple of years. Because I was like, you're right. I told her about you, Eddie. So anyway, but but yeah, I do agree. If you take the career, and I was going by my self-assurance, like where I was confident in myself,
not till 50 though,
and didn't have comparison. But if you're talking more about when I would be best ready for marriage, having children, finding a companion, I guess the younger not the better, but I wouldn't want to be 40 trying to get married and have kids.
All right. Do any one of y'all disagree with that statement, or want to wheel it back a little bit and come back to reality for us?
Oh no, I completely agree.
So you
I
willing to
do.
back too, right? Because you wasn't one of the. You said you
I
in your
guess we
prime right
talking
now.
about self.
Yeah. 20s, mid 20s, early 30s. Yep.
Mid 20s to early 30s. All right. Now you still running with that? Mid 20s to early 30s.
Yeah, like
All right.
25 to 30. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
going? So, but you. I don't know if you said that last week. I thought you
I
said you.
did. I said between 25 and your early 30s.
You trying? So you trying to say you still in your prime? That's what
I
you trying to
am.
say. You in your grace period.
You're great.
You in your grace
Don't
period.
listen to Eddie. Don't listen to Eddie.
Definitely not listening to him. He got multiple women.
5 wives. That's right. Keep that. That's right.
All right, hold
Hey.
on, Jenny. Jenny, you was also one of the Lulu ones that said that 45 is your prime or whatever the case may be. No shots fired. I just want to know: are you changing your?
No, because when you say you're in your prime, it varies differently for each individual. Because but for me, that stage where you're in your prime would be that period in your life when you feel like you're at your best, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, or all of the above. So for some people, that might come early, like in their 20s when they're like full of energy, they're young and full of ambition, while for others it would come later in life when they've gained like experience and wisdom. But being in your prime, I guess, is not just about age or accomplishments. It's about, being feeling fulfilled and content with where you are in your life. Me. So when I said that I was at my prime, what did I say? Um
You said
Late
now.
20s? No, no, no. Early 40s, mid 30s or something like that. Early 30s to early 40s. Yeah, that's where I feel like I'm more matured. I have more experience, and I have more to offer other people.
Word. I got you. All right. So again, we not gonna argue or disagree with y'all. We're gonna let y'all live right now. But and I believe T has said that she was in her prime at the when she was in her 21s, 20 early 20s, all the way up to you said 30s, right? T? T, you said to your 30s, right? All the way up to like your lower 30s. Gotcha. 25 to 30s, you switching it because you said 20, you said you was in your prime at 19, 20. Last week. So what up? You switching up or what? You switching the age range? You want to switch up. I can see it in your face. You're lying now. Come on. You did say 1920. That's what you
Mm-mm-mm.
said, 1920. It's all good. All right. Let's flip it around now. Eddie, when are men in their prime? And hold on. When are men in their prime and when do women think that men are in their prime?
Well, men in their prime from 25 to around 40. 40 okay, not even 40. 25 to 50. A man can still be in his prime, right? And then
Oh,
How it
oh,
define what that means?
I got you. I'm
We
gonna walk with
know.
him for a minute. I'm gonna walk with him.
You go ahead. I'll stay
Hold
back
on, I'm
there.
gonna walk with him, but I'm gonna let him slow jog out of this one. Yo,
listen,
25 to 50, you going
yes, yes,
25 year? Ranging, grace period,
That's
and
a
all
big
that.
grace. That's a
Yeah,
big grace.
come on,
I
brother.
mean, no,
Talk
you
to me,
see,
man. You gotta
We only
explain
get a
that one.
year.
okay, you see,
We only get a year.
the reason I said for women is 25 to 30. For us men, you see, we can do, we can, most of the things we can do at 50, we can still do them at 25. Now, having said that, when do women think men are in their prime?
Oh, now
I
hold on.
think
We
it's
can't
still
just
the same,
walk past what you just said, though, man. You said 25 to 50.
to around 50. I can even stretch it to 55.
All right, I'm jumping off. I'm jumping off.
Oh,
No, 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 no.
I'm jumping off. I'm jumping off the bridge with you, bro.
You was
Oh,
getting
I'm
that
jumping
that's
off
money.
the
a
bridge with
big
you.
grace period.
Yeah, I'm jumping off the bridge with you. Hold on, real quick. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I want to give a shout
Yeah,
out
sure.
to Trixie, and I also want to give a shout out to Jacinta. I believe Jacinta is, if I'm not mistaken, is Kathy's sister. So I want to give her a shout out as well.
Hey.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for watching this, following us. All right, bro. I'm jumping off the bridge, man. We 25 to 50. I can't agree with you on that, brother. So what's your preference? Why you say 25 to 50? To say that at 25 years old, a 25-year-old and a 50-year-old can do the same thing, I'm not with you on that neither.
They
Yeah.
said she talking from experience. she said that from deep in.
Yeah, I can't jump on the bridge with you on that one, man.
You know,
Okay.
I
Happy
think they can do
early
almost
birthday.
the same things actually.
Yeah, what things are you speaking of?
Can make money, can take care of a family, can provide for a family, can lead a family, can.
You
Oh,
be
yeah, hold
where?
on, man. Trixie said
Who?
men age like
First
fine
of all,
My
wine.
you're
brother
not
did
even.
it.
I
Thank you.
never work on my birthday. That's not happening. My day too.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Nate, hold on, Nate. Go ahead. Go
Big
ahead, Eddie.
old grace period.
Go ahead, Eddie.
No, yeah. So as I was saying, at 25, I think I can still take care of a family, you know, and at 50, even better, I think. Now, when I probably at 55, no, but 50, yeah, I can even lower it to 40 then. If that makes
Pretty
you
nice.
happier.
My guy is wilding right
25
now.
to 40 then.
My guy, you wilding right now. All right. Statistics show. Actually, I'm not gonna talk statistics yet. Let me give you my vibe. My vibe is this. I actually agree with the statistics. So because I preface him the statistics, I want to go last. But what statistics show and when I would say I was in my prime is totally different. I actually would say I was in my prime, and I'm my criteria of saying I'm in my prime, meaning at the peak of getting money at a young age of, you know what I'm saying, being active, doing things, you know what I'm saying? Just all around, all around when y'all say confidence, swag, whatever y'all want to call it, you know what I'm saying? I would say for me, it was probably around like 25, 26 to about 32, 33. You know what I'm saying? And then I probably had a 2-year grace period. You know what I mean? I had a 2-year grace period until I kind of fell back. You know what I mean? I kind of gracefully bowed out the game, if you want to call it that. You know what I mean? Um, and I think as you get older, you know what I mean, you start understanding things a lot more. Um, and so for me, I can only speak from my own experiences. If everything would have kept going the way I wanted it to go, then I would have been by my 40s, I would have been could have been a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes life throw curveballs at you and you gotta take them on the chin. And you know, I was fell into a situation where I had to take something on the chin, and it was what it was. And so for me, I would say I was in my prime at that young age. Um, Now I'm a lot smarter, a lot wiser, but I don't have the energy like I had back then. Back then, I was willing to take a lot more risk, do a lot more things. I'm married now. Before it was just me. You know what I mean? So now that I'm married, I gotta consider I got somebody else to worry about, um, and everything. So, and I think also I was just learning a lot about myself during that time as well. Growing up, I'm a little older and a little smarter now with everything, but now again, I'm just going off of what I'm self-preserving as my categories. Now, I would also say
Lock the
between
door.
18 all the way up
Oh.
until I would say 33, 34. I was doing my numbers. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my numbers. Um, so I would say from females' perspective, I was, at that time I was doing my numbers. During those years, my early years, I was doing my numbers. You know me? So, you know what I'm saying? But on a personal level, if I'm rating my own self, I would say definitely at that age. Eddie, so what about you? Did you give your personal? Like, what about you? Real quick, and then we're gonna pass it over to the ladies.
Did I what? Did I what? Come again?
At what age are you still like? So you said 25. Are you in your prime right now?
Yeah, you got to 100.
You in your prime 112 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not over that grace period.
Eddie gave himself from the cradle to the grave.
What defines you in your prime right now, Eddie? Just out of curiosity.
Would I say I'm in my prime right now? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I believe I still am. Yeah.
You still are. When you say you believe you still are, that sounds like your grace period.
No.
Because if you knew you was in your prime, you would
right.
have less
Say it with your full chest.
Yeah, you say it with your chest out. You in your grace period, bro. Matter of fact, your grace period probably expired. You don't know it
yet. There's some things I cannot play soccer as much as I did when I was in my 20s, right? But I can still play some soccer, yeah. Anyway,
on,
and that's killing you.
Yeah, you can't say that you in your prime.
Knocking you out the number one spot.
I don't have as much money when I was in my 20s. I didn't have as much money as I have right now. So you see.
Okay. See, I'm reverse. For me. That's why I made the statement I made. I'm reverse. You know what I'm saying? During the years I told you, I was getting that shmoney.
Shmoney.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, sometimes life throw the curveballs at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I had a nice run from like 2002 to till Obama got in office, man. He started messing it up for everybody. At least for me. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, me and Nate was talking about this before because I told her, like, yo, that healthcare money, good money, man. I was in that healthcare money strong. You know what I'm saying? But curveballs. But all right. So, Eddie, you saying that women would think that you in your prime right now too?
I would
deep
say,
breath, man. You gotta say it with confidence, bro.
I hope they do.
I would say
you in your grace period,
30,
man. You using all the hopes and
maybe no.
A hope and I believe. You gotta know, man. You gotta know.
Maybe.
No,
you gotta know.
I'm turning 37 next week on Wednesday. Some
Well,
still
because
in
I
that
feel
prime, I
like
believe.
I
Yeah.
feel like a mature level, men are not even mature in their 20s at all. To
Yeah,
me,
it
maybe
depends on what you're
might be
doing for your birthday,
financially
man. We
making
can tell you
money,
in your
but
prime.
like
What you doing for your
for
birthday? You sitting
to
in the house, you
have
ain't
a
in your prime,
family,
bro.
settle
You
down,
got 5 wives. No, I'm
and
just joking.
I'll
no,
definitely be at work.
Ah, you ain't in your
yeah,
prime, man. You be at work.
At work. No, 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 no.
Yo,
mm-mm.
is it safe to say? Let me ask this question
But I
though.
was in
Let
a
me ask this
relationship at
question.
that time, though.
Let me ask this question though. And I'm asking you,
I guess
Eddie.
you could say
I'm
yeah because
asking
I was in a
everybody,
serious
but I'm also
relationship.
asking you.
I was
All
dating
right,
that person
because
for a
I will
while.
say this. I'm prefacing this. When I was in my prime,
I
I
didn't want
wasn't a
to.
9 to 5.
I don't know. I mean, he wanted to, but I
I
didn't
didn't.
want to.
I
That
had
relationship was bad
businesses. I
though.
didn't
It got
have
bad. So
a job, and I made the most money
he
not
never
being a nine to
proposed,
five.
no. But
You know what I'm saying?
because we talked about
And now,
marriage, but
it's nothing wrong with being a nine to
because that
five.
situation was
But if
bad,
you
it was
are,
a no for
I
me.
think for the woman,
It was
when they start
bad.
saying
It
that
was
they
really
reach their
bad.
prime because they 9 to 5 prime time dollars that they're making is at the ages that they, and normally that's when men, from
Really,
statistics show, normally men start hitting their stride of the maximum amount of money they
I
start
don't agree
making
with
is
that
around
either.
between 38 to about 43, 44. Usually that's when they either, reach their 6 figure prime that they're gonna reach, or they start maxing out at that particular peak. You know what I mean? And at that particular point, it's the person itself. If they have other investments and things that they, are financially stable and able to invest in money and do things, and you know what I mean, so on and so forth. That's normally when men start hitting their prime. You know what I'm saying? But for me, like I said, I'm taking it personal. Going back in my years, I wasn't a 9 to 5. I'm gonna start with our host tonight. When are men in their prime? Host Jen.
Oh wow. I would say, see, I told you I'll define it as maybe in there. I'm gonna go with my husband. Um in there, I'll say mid 20s to I'm gonna give the 10-year stretch to to mid 30s.
I disagree. Why?
Uh, well, I've okay, so I changed my stance, but I've changed my definition too. Like I said, I'm changing when I say when I was more confident and all that stuff, then I would go back to the late 30s, early 40s. But I'm talking about building a family, yeah, more so settling down and growing with someone. I'd say
All right.
that's
So
when I want to
listen,
settle down with someone.
I got you. But if you're selling,
You gotta
here's the
pay
key, and
money.
this is the reason why society is the way it is now. All right. If you're gonna settle down with somebody, right, during that 25, normally the guy that you selling down with, he's not financially in his prime. So that means that you willing to play the waiting game. But these women now got this mentality that I'm a struggle. If I'm a struggle, I'm a struggle by myself. Or these women, and Jenny heard me say this a couple of times last week too. These women think they're the prize. And so because they think that they're the prize, they are saying, I don't need no man. I could do this all by myself. You know what I mean? Um, so they're not willing to wait for that good man to hit his stride and be able to be in a position to provide for a family. Because at 25, 26, 27, a man ain't gonna be in a position where he can provide for a family. He gonna be working his way up there, but he not in his financial prime. Most men. I'm not gonna say all, but most men.
Yeah, I was gonna say most men because my son and his wife already
Yeah,
they're well
most men.
settled. Yeah, you're right.
And I'm
But
going
but
even
I'm
with
gonna
myself.
say
At 25, I was in my prime as well during my stride. So I could say that too. Well, shout out to Grace. What's going on, Grace?
yeah, but I'm not gonna be 40. I'm 50, but I'm gonna be in my early 20s, early to mid 20s,
All right,
expecting
Jenny.
that man to grow with me.
Jenny, talk to me, Jenny.
Yeah.
What we saying? So when are men in their prime?
Um, physically, I think men would be in their prime in
Yo,
their
stop,
mid
stop, stop,
20s.
stop. Why are you preferencing it with physically? Just when are men in their prime, man? Don't hit me with the physically and all that. Put it, package it all together. When are men in their prime? When are they in their prime?
It's very subjective. So yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. So I think men would be in their prime, maybe in their mid 20s to early 30s. But
Stop. Let me ask you. I mean, so hold on. So right now you're telling me that you're in your prime and your husband is not.
mm, no, I think I've passed the prime period, and it's the same for him. So I said before that
Hold on, you
prime
just said last
prime
week
time
that
for
you
women
that you're in your
would be
prime
like
right
in
now.
their late 20s to early 40s. I'm no longer in my early 40s. I think I'm in my mid 40s. So yeah.
Looking good.
Yo, you said last week you was in your prime though, man. You styling
That's
right
not
now.
true.
Keita, talk to me, Keita. And Keita, you could preference your question as if you want to answer too. But at what age men are in their prime?
My personal opinion, 28 to 38.
28 to 38. Why? Why 28 to
Um,
38? You said 38 exact. So Eddie's still in his prime in your book.
Technically, yeah.
Okay. Why?
It's the point of their every man's life when they're making money. Like that's more important. Settling down is starting to get important. Um, the
Yeah, because
partying doesn't
I
matter.
disagree. That
I
doesn't
mean, yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
mean
My little brother, he still goes out. He's 30. He still goes out, and but he's at his
it
peak right now.
depends.
So
It depends.
um,
I
yeah, no.
I guess it just
That's
depends
that's just
on
my opinion.
like because
All right. Before you preference your question, Nay, I'm gonna get Nay and T. Nay, talk to me, Nay. When is your dude in his prime?
probably 28 one because y'all just like younger
CCM
women.
nice, you had to do, right? 30 to 40.
No, I'm not. I'm 33.
You ain't too far off already, man. 25 to 40. Let me ask you this question real quick. All right, because you said that as well. But let me ask you this question. At 25, were you ready to settle down? At 26, were you ready to settle? Were you ready to settle down? 26. So why didn't you settle down then? So why didn't he want to settle down with you? He proposed to you?
You do have
Oh,
a
well, then
you
how you
do
know
have
he
a
wanted
point
to?
because now I'm 33.
Yeah. Grace say that from her point of view, generally men are in their prime in their
Right.
20s. I don't agree with her, but shout out to Grace. Yeah, I don't agree.
Huh?
So let's ask T. T, talk to me, T.
Well, that I'm gonna say that's not true. That's not
All right. I'm gonna say this before I'm gonna preference this before I let Keita ask her question. Um, so the statistics show that men and women, um, time clock for prime time is different. Women, they say, are born with their prime. So as soon as they hit 18,
Oh my
huh?
God.
I said at the
They-
cradle,
yeah,
in the
they-
cradle.
We just
I'm saying,
everybody
but when they turn 18, like
ain't
they
black
saying that
women.
when a woman turns 18, from I'm saying, like, plus the world is
They just
chasing that
really
most.
did their
That's the
job
time they
when
get the
they
most
tried
attention
to
from guys
separate black
going
men
into
from
their
black
20s. You
women.
know what I
Like
mean?
they won with
Early
that
20s, this,
because
that, and the third.
that's
So
all I see on my
most guys on the other
timeline.
side
Oh,
have
guys
to,
are always
like,
talking
they
about
don't
how
get
black
some of the
women had
privileges
like
that
we grew
women get.
up.
I mean, where guys got to
We
work
went through a lot.
at, even if you want to talk about getting into clubs and stuff like that, if you live that lifestyle,
I
at,
do.
at 18,
But
women
but
can get
I
into
also
clubs
said that
just because
they
she a
did their
female.
job.
Men can't get in the
The
clubs.
society did their
You
job
know what I
with
mean?
splitting us
They gotta
against each other.
got pay money, or they got to be in a financial,
Yeah, like it's
you know what I mean, a
bad.
financial status in order for. And most of the time, women are in that starting at the age are looking for.
I never said I don't need him. Well, you
Women
know,
are
when I was
dating
in my,
older men at
I
that
did
time.
say that.
They rather date older
I
men
did say
because
that,
they
but I
want
also was
somebody who
raised
can
that way. But I
spend
was
money on
raised
them.
that way because
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I'm tired of doing everything
Guys
by myself.
at the same age
Absolutely.
don't have that. But the
No,
tables
I'm
turn
just
when you get
saying,
older.
like no. I
You,
never
you
said
understand what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
want to say I don't need a man.
Cause
I
come on,
definitely
cuz
don't
why
want
you
to say
deep?
that. But
Why
when
you
I
breathing
was
deep?
younger in my 20s, I did say that.
That's not true.
For sure. Because
I
I mean a guy couldn't, there's nothing that a guy could do that
For
I couldn't
don't
do
it
for
may not be.
myself.
necessarily
It may
think
not be
it's
for
true.
you,
I
but
don't
for
think it's
At that
necessarily
time,
true. Like you can,
hold
yeah.
on,
Go ahead,
hold on.
keep
Let me
on going.
preface this. For the U.S., I'm gonna speak
Listen,
for the U.S. I don't know how it is for other other people, other countries. Eddie, it's the same
tired
way in your
of
country.
doing everything on my own.
Yeah, pretty much the
Absolutely.
same.
Pretty much the same. Is it the same way in your country, Jenny? So I'm saying. So the thing that's crazy about it is y'all saying it's the
I
same.
don't
Even
feel
Jenny
the same
says
way that
almost
I
the
was
same.
in my
But yet
20s
she
and I
says
was
she's in
younger.
her
And
prime
when
at
you're in
45.
your
When we
20s,
just
I
said the
wasn't worried
statistics
about
show
that.
that
And then I was
woman,
in a
and they once
relationship
they
that
hit
wasn't
18 and
good.
going
So
onward,
it was just
that's the
like,
time when they're in the childbearing years. That's the
it
time when they're
was one person. But
most
yeah,
attractive.
after
Men
that,
will
I just
find them
wanted to
more
be
attractive
single and
without
just
having to do
enjoy my
extra
life.
makeup and this, that, and the third and all that. Now she's just naturally beautiful. You know what I mean? The younger you are, more natural, beautiful you are, so on and so forth. And the
Yeah, it
thing
was
about
bad.
it
It was
is,
bad.
and here's where it's different. At least growing up, when I was coming up a little bit, and how it is now in the days and time. Women now are young women, and this is, I guess, why I get so upset at these young women, because they're not thinking about marriage at 25, 26, or 27 at their prime of when they should be getting married. None of them care about getting married. They at this particular time in the U.S. they have conditioned, or I don't know the right word to say, so I don't want to piss any of the women off, but 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 they have put it out there to where now women are competing with men in the job places and things of that nature, so on and so forth. And women have more opportunity, so they have more choices to say I don't want to. At the times, like I'm off. If I had a daughter, I would tell her, yo, go to college, get your college degree, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, like keep your options open for settling down, because at the time, like 25, 26, to me, that's the prime time year too. That's around the time you should be looking to settle down. But these women nowadays ain't they trying to settle down at 35. And at 35, the guys at 35 years old don't want you.
Maybe. Well, I'm gonna have to agree with my cousin. Like, want to settle down and have a family. Usually, I would say you would want to do that in your younger, ideally in your
Yes.
younger years. I would
When you
say
hit
that.
35, it's harder for you to settle down. You can listen, any of the guy, I'm gonna tell you this. If I'm being honest with you, and this is no shot to you or anybody at the 35 age range. I say this with all sincerity and meekness and however else other words I got to use. If they settling down with you at 35, that means that they settling.
I'm not gonna go that far. I ain't on that bus. I'm not on that bus.
A guy at 35 is going to choose somebody younger.
I would.
So if he, what it depend on?
Me.
Y'all said women hitting their prime at 28. So if you still in your prime at 34, 35, if I had to choose two women that's in their prime, one is at 35 and one is at 28, who you think I'm picking? She's in her prime. You even acknowledge she in the beginning of her prime. You you about to touch your grace period.
I think today's culture. No, today's culture wants
Thanks, Eddie.
push for women to have to pursue their career, their and sow their oats or what have you. Just have fun before trying to get a family together. But then when you are then it's like then you have that clock for okay, now I gotta have a family, I gotta get married, somebody's gotta find me, or I gotta find a husband, I gotta get married, and have children, and it starts to pile up on you. There's all this pressure because when you're in your 30s, then you got your 40s coming, and you do want to already be settled down and have children. It just hits you all of a sudden. And I'm not saying that applies to everybody, but I'm going to say that a lot of my friends that were like when I first met them. So this is like, I've been a nurse like 20 years, and they were like, wow, wow, you had children, you've been married and all that stuff. But as time goes on, now they're like, gosh, I think I might have to freeze my eggs. I don't know. I got to do this because ain't nobody out here.
Oh,
yeah. No, well, but real life issues when you're 37 and you don't have a significant other, and you don't have if you don't have a boyfriend, then there's no fiance, and if there's no fiance, then there's no promise of marriage. There's no way to get married.
What it is.
No marriage ain't no baby,
right.
unless
You know what it is,
Yeah,
though?
you don't. That's like a hot dating a hot
doggy
head. I
and
don't want
cat.
to date no guy that can't protect.
All the single women at that age all have a dog or a cat. Listen, hold on. Let me say this though. Let me say this. I don't want to get crucified on here for saying what I'm saying. So, sometimes although I believe it's the truth, I don't shoot the messenger in this situation, because of the simple fact that statistics, U.S. based statistics, are showing these facts. I don't know if these facts are true all over the world. You know what I mean? And the statistics, and I say this in all sincerity again because I love my sisters, but even the statistics show that it's even worse when dealing with a black sister.
Well, we have so much against us. We just have a lot against us. We have a lot against us.
Again,
when everybody wants to be you, but no one wants to be you.
Don't come at me. I'm just telling you what statistics show.
Explain. Yeah, you gotta explain, what does that mean?
All right, but hold on. But you, as a black female, you speak about black men too. Yeah, you talk bad about us too. Who they? I think you did a job in selling y'all that feminist dream and saying that y'all don't need men. Did you need a man now? But you can't just need a man because you're tired of doing it by yourself, man. And we ain't supposed to just come and save you because you're tired of being. That's not true. That's not true. So what can a guy do for you now at your age now? Because all you're saying is the only reason why you want a man now because you're tired. Yeah, but it's not a guy's job to alleviate you now from the situation that you in because you're tired. If you saying that back then it wasn't nothing that a man can do that you can do, then you feel the same way now. You just don't want to do it because you're tired. All right. So it's your poor choice of men that you chose. That one person, yeah, he damaged goods. He damaged you, well.
That's the way he
Cheetah,
said
cheetah.
it.
What
So I would
what's your
need
question?
reliability in order to say that I don't need a man, but I have always needed a man because I've always had a man in my life, and that's my stepfather. So technically, I saw that the way that he provided to me is the way that I would want the man to provide for me as well. Spiritually,
Exactly.
financially, emotionally, I need that. I literally need that. And that's what I look for in a man. I need that reliability. And most of the time I couldn't find that. Couldn't find it in my prime because they weren't in their prime yet.
So then why you ain't date up? Why didn't you date
uh,
up?
I yeah,
Because because I hear a lot of women. They
I went
always
on the
say that.
wild side.
A lot of women always say that. They say, "Oh, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to settle. I want." But the type of guy that you actually want that can provide and do all that, you got to ask yourself, do that guy want you, or
It's
do he
true.
want somebody younger?
And a lot of times women are are hard on the men that approach them. I mean, they can be really, really superficial.
See, don't make that face. I seen that face. See,
I
ask the
mean,
question.
we're picky sometimes. We are picky sometimes.
Way too pick, way too wait. Like when I said clothes, you can change that. Buy that stuff for the holidays, birthdays. Just oh, I saw this shirt and I thought you can change clothes. You can change you. There's a lot of not change, but you know what I'm saying. Like tweak it. Let's say that tweak it because
Yeah, I
you know
agree
you
with you.
trivial stuff, trivial things. Let me say this: would you rather have a drop dead gorgeous whatever that is in your mind man that doesn't come home every night? I think we already said this. Or
Hmm.
would you rather have somebody like, let's say Steve Urkel? And I know he looks bad, but look how when he's Jaleel White, how to come up. I mean, he looks so to me, he looks nice. He's a handsome looking guy, and he would be, I mean, somebody that he seems like a guy that's reliable, like you said, a provider. I mean, it is, and I'm gonna say to Nay, I'm like you where I am a go-getter. Most
Who
women
you
and
talking to when you say you? Who's you?
Nay, I said nay.
Oh,
Sorry,
you like the
nay,
nay?
nay. I
Nay ain't
said
no go
nay. To
getter.
you, like what you're
Probably
saying
not.
is you're self-sufficient, and it's fine to be self-sufficient. Like me and my husband, we're doing this remodel, and I just told him we started the flooring, and at first I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I need you to start it. I need you to show me. But I've done, mind you, I've had a house and I've done the whole floor
So you
all
fake
by
you
myself.
faking it?
No. But we're better together. So when he did it, when he started it, then we boom, boom, boom,
That
knocked it
part.
out. And then he was like, he had to go, and we did the edges, and he did this like intricate edge. And so when I went back today and I did it, and I was like, hey, I saw your how you did this, and it was like he had to cut out these things, and I was like, challenge accepted. Here go mine because I did the other corner, and he was like, oh, we started laughing like we. It's not that being self sufficient is not bad, but you also have to be submissive. Like people think submissive is a bad word, but being submissive ain't bad. It's okay. When you think you want to say something, just hold off. When you think you want to buck up, just hold your peace. Just hold your honestly. And
See,
then
she
sometimes
dropping wisdom to you. See?
if you feel like you're an alpha female, meaning a go-getter or whatever, sometimes I'm going to tell you what people feel, what society thinks is a B or beta male. Those are the guys that think things through. What, and I'm not saying they're a beta male. They could be alpha. They're alpha male in a different way. They think things. They're going to think the whole
She got frozen.
process through all the way around. Where just boom, I'm gonna go at it, but don't think about everything. That's the one that's going to fight and then get shot. when
Yeah.
your husband is gonna be like, hey, hold up, if they say, man, it's okay, all right, and you be like, why ain't you buck up to him? Because that dude got a gun, and tomorrow I won't be here. We'll just slide out. Yes, but not necessarily. But most people in today's society think that's an alpha male.
That's
Like,
true.
why you want that? And the other guy's a punk, but
Yeah,
he's
well,
not.
so you got to
That's
be
the guy.
you don't need an alpha male. You just need a boss.
A boss. There you go.
Yeah, you just
There
need a
you go.
boss.
There
So,
you go.
Keita, ask your question, Keita.
My question is, what is a provider and what does it mean to be one? I'd actually like to target that at you and Eddie. If you want to go first, I'd like to hear what you have to say, Aaron.
I'm gonna let Eddie go first.
Yeah.
Then I'm
Okay. Let's go.
What you call it? Sprinkle. What y'all ladies call it now? Sprinkle. I'm a sprinkle it.
So your question is what is it being a provider?
I want to know too.
Yes. And what does it mean to be one? What is a provider and what does it mean to be one? To you.
To me,
Yes.
being able to provide, yeah. Being able, I mean, it is.
Yo, what kind of answer is that, yo?
No.
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah.
Being able to provide leadership in the house, leadership, direction, finances, and what else? Yeah, and then what it means to be one. I think it's still the same.
Let me sprinkle that real quick. So I agree to a certain. I agree and disagree with Eddie. And so my answer is kind of similar, but it's also a little bit off, a little bit different. I think for most men consider providing, and they always link that to financial, being able to provide financially. I don't think in every marriage, I'm gonna say marriage because most men who's gonna provide for you is only gonna really willing to provide for you in a marriage situation. But in a marriage, because like I would say in my case with my wife, as of today, and this can change from year to year, but my wife makes consistent money, 6 figures, consistent money. Whereas me, I can have 1 year where I may do $30,000-$40,000 less than her, and then I can have another year where, depending on the year, I can max out. You know what I mean, and kill it. But for me, so she's more her money is more consistent because she get a paycheck every week. For me, I have to hustle, so mine's go by the day and time. So I can't necessarily always consider my situation to strictly be financial. So providing for me will be contributing to the household, obviously, but also providing leadership, providing, I would say just covering in general. And covering is a word, that's a biblical word, I think, that you probably would need to make sure you do some research and understanding on the word covering, because covering covers a lot of different things. So for me, providing covering will be one of the main things. But leadership, covering, guidance, um, understanding, having to be that person to, like I just told you the other day, my wife came in there. Sometimes you got to take the lead on just taking an L sometimes, even with being married. You know what I mean? Take the lead on taking an L. Take one for the team, you know what I mean? Having each other back. There's many different things, but I would say leadership, right? I would say leadership is one main one. But I would also just preference it by saying covering, because covering means a lot, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, like covering you, meaning that I'm gonna protect you from. So you can even put protection in there, but I would say protection falls under covering as well. But to me, covering just means a lot. And there's a biblical definition of covering in that regards. But I would say leadership and covering, you know what I mean, would be my definition of being a provider. You know what I'm saying? And covering from a biblical standpoint, um, covering can come from a father, and covering can come from a husband. Now, covering can also come from a place where if you don't have a father figure, somebody else can step in and cover you until you get married, but falls under covering. You know what I mean? And being covered. Do you? I know Jen. I know my cousin Jennifer. Cousin, I know you understand covering. Eddie, do you understand covering? No,
No, no.
that's a biblical terminology right there. Covering. Jenny, do you understand covering? Nah. T and A, I don't know if y'all understand covering as well. And to be honest with you, I think Marquita, you started this off by prefacing. You said that when you was younger, you seen your father, take care of. I believe you said it was your father or your stepfather, one of them,
My
taking care.
stepfather, yeah.
Yeah, taking care of your mom, and I'm pretty sure some of the things that you've seen, he was actually covering her in that regard, and
Yes.
that's kind
I
of
did I did
one of the
witness that a
things.
lot, and that's what I want.
Yeah, and so and this is why I say that a lot of women say that, like, a lot of women think that they're the most important person in the family structure, and I believe a man is. You know what I mean? Because of the reliability of the structuring and the covering and the protection and provision ship that person needs to bring to the table. I was going over some stats with Jenny last week as well. And Jenny heard me as I was going through my rant, and I was telling Jenny that most and cuz I'm not talking about you, I'm excluding you in this situation, all right? Cuz
Okay.
most children who grow up with a single parent mother in the household, normally the statistics show normally that 50% chance that they can either be successful or end up going to jail. Most statistics show when a single parent father is in the household, the statistics
No, I'm
are
listening to
much greater.
her.
It's just as high
No, I'm
as it being
listening.
a two-parent household. So if the statistics are showing
Listen,
that
I'm listening
if
to
it's a
her.
two-parent household or if it's a man only in that house, that the kids grow
I'm
up
listening, so I get
in a
my
better environment than it is with a single mother, that just goes to prove how significant having a father figure and covering in your life is. So the fact that y'all ladies don't even know what covering means is kind of heartbroken for me.
Oh man, what happened?
I got you. Nah, it's definitely something that I think that nah, it's cool. I'm surprised my man Eddie, the Bible scholar that you are, Eddie, it's mentioned in the Old and New Testament, Eddie. Yeah, we could chop it up. Keita, we could chop it up off air about covering at a later date. I'll be more than happy to break it down to you. I said at a later date, we can chop it, yeah, we can chop it off. Yeah, we can chop it up after the fact. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, so did anybody else? How about the married folks that are on here? What about your husband's providing for you? Do y'all have? Because she wanted to. I believe it was her. It was a joint question, right, from you and your friend. They want to know about providing, a man providing. It's the expectations of that. So, what about you, lady? My married folks.
Jenny, you want to go first?
Actually, hold on. Hold on. Before you go, Eddie. Shout out to Eddie. Eddie was married.
Mhm.
Um,
No.
he didn't get a divorce or anything. His wife passed away, so he's actually a widow. So shout out to you, Eddie. Um, but go ahead, Eddie. So, what was your definition of provided?
My definition,
Yes.
like I said, leadership, like
That's
Oh, yeah, you did say that. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
man.
that's because Eddie
Oh,
thinks that the
yeah, he
women
said
are supposed
leadership
to
in the
submit to
home and
him because he
finance,
pay all the
etc.
bills.
Yeah.
All right, I want to give it. Let me see. Grace said, "I agree with you, Aaron, on your thoughts in covering. God designed the family dynamic so the presence and covering of father, husband to the
You're supposed to
family has
submit,
a great
Eddie.
impact on the life of the children in general." All right, Jennifer, go first.
Okay. Uh,
Oh, he's not
so I'm
submissive,
gonna
huh?
say it goes far beyond financial. So my husband pays all the bills. All is I'm good on that end. So if it was about that, then that alone, then I would be good. But I think for me, he is considerate in everything that involves our family and me. So when he doesn't um, yeah, just in everything. Like if I say I want to, oh well, I want to go here, and if he says no, it's only because of he's looking out for our finances or looking out for
He
us in
gonna push
another
me.
way. And sometimes he doesn't explain it,
Eddie say he
and
gonna
that's where I
save
say I have to
himself.
just calm down because I'm on the spoiled end when it comes to him.
You
Um,
gotta trust him.
I feel like
Eddie
yeah,
say
well,
he
yeah,
gonna save
just and
himself.
even I'm saying just like because he is my covering, because he is my head, he is the head of household. So regardless of what I want to do, if he doesn't want to do it, I can't go against him. Like from anything as simple as my dress to yeah, like sometimes if I wear a t-shirt and it's
I
Hey,
want
too
what
preach,
low,
man,
chest
because I don't
and
know
low.
if
he's
I
like,
men
need to
he
where
read
want
you
to
that.
going?
be under that type of covering, man.
But the thing is,
I need
I
to
wouldn't
start
want my
what?
husband to wear some pants that
That's
that could
fine.
like expose or show the print of his manhood. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want
No,
him to
no,
go
no.
out
I
like
get it.
that.
I get
So
it.
therefore, I'm going to
What you
respect because
mean?
the only man that I want to please is him.
Oh
Who is
well,
the
yeah,
only
that
man that
is.
wants
I
me
guess
in
I guess
every
I'm one of
whether
them.
I'm no matter what I look like. He loves me and he's always even more than just desiring me. He looks out for me. He covers me in everything. So to me, his consideration, that's to me him being the head of household and that's how he leads. He
It's
thinks of
not
our
Bible
family
school.
in every decision that he makes. Just like he doesn't have he always says he doesn't buy the fancy car. We have two old cars. But I'm saying, and everybody in our neighborhood has Teslas or whatever. But he's like just on the fact that he doesn't. Well, we both don't want car payments, but that would take away his dream car would be a Tesla. But he's like, well, how would that go? Because I have to consider that I have um, uh, our child. We have two children coming up that will need cars, or he just takes into consideration everything where I don't. And I don't
That means
necessarily have to.
all
You
that
don't
means
have
that
to
his
stress about it. Yeah.
No, because
that
he
means
covers me.
His Tesla is
Yes.
coming. It's gonna probably
Yes.
come in a couple of maybe 10 years
Yeah, I
from
don't
now.
know. Because when he looks at it, he's like, yeah, he really that's what I'm saying. When I say about a man who considers everything, he looks at the entire picture instead of just like the corner of it. He looks at the entire picture. And I'm gonna say that for me, I'm just like, yeah, where he's more passive and I'm more assertive. To me, I was like, I had to see the value in that for him. You understand what I'm saying? For me and for him, for us in our relationship, and say, oh, was she her man? Well, dag, her man is like rah rah, but that's them. That's her man. I don't want her man.
All right, cuz
I'm good with mine.
Jenny tap in on this because
Huh?
we had our
Oh, at
threshold.
this
So
time.
go ahead, Jenny.
Mhm.
What you want to say to that?
I can't. I don't know how to answer that. It depends on what you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I'm still
You
figuring
said you
things
want
out.
Jennifer to
I
reverse.
mean, I had a little bump, like how you explained earlier. You had a little bump. Everybody goes through their little Eddie is going to be 100 still in his prime with his 5 wives. He said he the man.
Wow, Nay. Nay, you supposed to be excited about hearing this stuff. Nay, you look like you bored to death, yo. You look like you about to fall asleep, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We doing this for you, Nay. You need to learn this, Nay.
I'm just taking notes.
Yeah, what about you, T? Yo, I got you. Covering is a biblical principle, but it's also you don't always have to apply it in a biblical way. It can be applied in other ways. And I'm surprised to hear Jenny say that she just learned this at a seminar last year. She just she just now she just now learning that her husband is the priest in his own home. Jenny grew up Catholic. Hold on, but so y'all don't you never heard of the word submission? So so men and women are supposed to submit to each other, but men and women submit to each other in different ways. So what way do
Nobody
women submit to
special.
men?
I'm single.
And what way do men submit to women?
I listen. That I'm single.
It's in the Bible. It's a Bible
No,
principle.
I
Eddie, you
was
know this
still
answer,
single
Eddie?
last week. So listen,
The
I'm
Bible
about to be
says
living my
men
best
to be
life.
submissive to
So
women.
Yep.
it's about to be nice outside. Listen,
Men,
I'm
women
focused
submit
on
to men
goals.
and
Shout
men
out to
submit to
A.
women.
Focus on
They
goals.
submit to
I
each other in two
Leveling
different
up.
ways. In two different ways.
I'd have to read my
No,
Bible again.
I didn't hear that. He said it's not in my Bible. It said it is, brother. You skipped over that part, brother.
There Eddie go again.
Oh shoot.
No. I thought
Hold on.
men,
Cuz.
we're supposed to love our wives. We're not supposed to submit.
Jonathan.
We're supposed to love them.
Well, you should submit to them in love. Yes, you submit
No,
in love,
love,
Eddie.
not submit, love.
You do submit in love. That means you're willing to give. That is a form of submission. That means you put them first in everything. Your wife submits to you in authority. You submit to your wife in love. That means that if you listen to my cousin says, she says her husband he submits to her in love because he provision. He places other things before himself. You know what I mean? If you and Nate was married and the car was coming to hit both of y'all, submitting to her in love would be jumping in front of the car to protect her.
He'll push
That's
you out of the way.
yeah,
Don't do that.
that's placing yourself on the line for it.
So it's no. Wait. So, Aaron, you're saying it's a Bible principle. It's not like it's not a
Okay, me and
verse.
you chop it up too, brother. We can chop it up. Yes, it's in the Bible, bro. Submit to women in authority. Women submit in authority. Men submit in love.
There's a book about that too. I think it's Love and Respect. think
Well, I
women
think
want
you,
love,
I think
men
you
want
need to start with
respect.
covering first. Covering first. Because the Bible also talk about women out here without a covering. That's dangerous. Not having a covering in your life at all. Yeah, that's not a good admission. So we'll chop it up one day soon. All right, yo. I don't wanna Bible y'all out or anything like that, man. Prime time. Um,
Nope,
yeah,
nope,
nah, we
it's
ain't doing that.
fine. I don't care.
Yeah, nah, we're not gonna do that. Prime
Yeah.
time is we doing prime time, man. So uh so y'all changed up on y'all, especially cuz changed up. T, you changed up. You switched your time. T, T, we got the recording. T, go listen. T, we got the recording. You said prime time 1920. You said when I was 1920, I was in my prime. That's what you said last week. Yes, you did. See how the delusion, see how the delulu work?
No, she's saying no. She's not. I
I tell
changed
you,
mine
cuz
based on the definition. I changed my definition.
you changed cuz you changed yours, but she changed hers. She's not admitting that she changed hers. You said you said I was in my prime. All the guys started liking me at 18 years old.
Oh, what?
Oh, so you admitting that you just said it was a prime though? You still lost? Not as badly as before. Nay, you lost, Nay? You a lost one? Or are you just in your grace period? Keita, you in your grace period? Are you still
I'm
still
still in my
prime
prime.
timing? Still
Yeah,
prime
I'm still
timing?
prime timing. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Ed still in this prime. That's what it is, bro.
Cradle to the grave.
I
In
In his
his
prime.
prime.
can't. He
That's right.
said you. Yeah, dude.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
All right, yo, we gonna sign out. I want to give a shout out to Trixie, Jacinta for joining for following us. Grace the homie. Grace used to be on one of my podcasts with me. She used to be a panelist. Um, she joined us on a podcast again. Grace, we love to have you on. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, my wonderful guest. We back at it again next week. Next week we're gonna come with a banger. I got some heat that I want to talk to you about as well.
Oh,
All
Got
right.
some
Air out
dramatic.
that dirty laundry.
Yeah, we're gonna air it out.
Okay.
We're gonna
Is
air it
that what
out.
we need?
Yeah, but this show we usually try to talk about all different types of things, relationships, what would you do, situations, things of that nature. So, and I'm hoping that Keita, T, and Nay end up branching off and starting their own podcast. And steal some of the ideas and things from this podcast to branch off on and do that. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're in our training phase. Hopefully, maybe I can even get Eddie and Jenny to start their own podcast too. Who knows? Right, Jenny?
Eddie already has his panelists, his 5 wives.
Yeah, they taking shots at you, Eddie, man.
I'm just
That's a
joking.
headshot right there.
You're my dude.
All right, we signing out, man. Um, Y'all want to give anybody a shout out? Any shout outs to anybody?
Shout out to my DH.
Oh, nice. You want to give a shout out to anybody? Y'all want to give a shout out to anybody? Now you want to give a shout out to anybody? Nobody? That special guy? Last week you said you had a situation. Man, look at that. Look how the tide turns.
All right, Eddie.
Wavy. Yeah, you sounding real wavy. Oh man.
Go ahead. Hot girl summer.
All right. T, what about you? Shout out to anybody? Say his name, yo. Say his name. Give him a shout out. Oh man. See. Yeah, you don't even want to give him a
Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Jonathan.
Color don't matter. Color, I mean, he's white.
Jonathan.
Black.
Wakito, shout out.
Shout out to Brady, my boyfriend. He's also supportive. He actually brought that question up. There's a lot of things that we talk about in relationships. He's very inspiring. Like most of the stuff that I have, like, is inspired by him. So to be continued. By the way, Aaron.
I want to know if he's covering you, but that's another conversation for another day. My essence, you know what I mean? And shout out to my boy Eddie, man. Yo, I got your back, bro. First person shoot. All right, yo, we signing out, man. Y'all have a good night. Yeah, we out of here.
All right, later,
See you
y'all.
next week. Bye.
Next week, we out of here.